Hello, I'm Jashykins and welcome to another little vlog review, this time of the Walking Dead episode Slabtown. Now, Beth has always seemed to be this nice girl that's living in a zombie world and sings and is comforting other people, but doesn't really seem to be that much else. She was a badass this episode. She had the most awesome kill of the episode, in my opinion. I haven't watched The Talking Dead yet. Long story short, haven't been able to. So I don't know what they said of this kill, but it's the most awesome thing. Okay, here's setting it up. Beth kept on getting hit on by this creepy pedophile cop, Gorman, I believe. And so it just gets creepier as the episode goes on. And near the end of the episode, what does she do to get back at him? She had been in this office doing her own thing to escape the hospital, because there's no nice place in The Walking Dead, as we all know. And she notices a woman had killed herself, and in this universe, if you die by whatever manner, you turn into Walker. So, Beth decided not to stab the woman in the head there by making her unable to turn. No, she allowed her to stay dead like that, to slowly turn. And then the pedophile cop Gorman comes and he starts to hit on her. And all this time, Beth is looking at turning Walker, and she keeps an eye on the Walker that's about to come, and she allows Gorman to get increasingly intimate with her, ending with, him sort of cupping a breast. And, she allows him to get really close to her as she sees that the Walker is going to become active, and as he's cupping a feel and going, yeah, some people are just weak, she gets the jar of lollipop things and smacks it over his head, making him fall down, and the Walker just going and killing him. And his last thoughts were, but she was supposed to be weak. No, bitch. And when she walks out and she meets the head bitch, Dawn, I believe, she goes, yeah, Gorman's waiting for you in your office. That's like, yeah. That was just really cool, really badass. That one moment Beth really shone. It was awesome. Like, bitch can be something. I mean, Beth can be something just like totally awesome. Yeah, Beth can be ruthless. I was on IMDb, of course, doing a little quote-unquote research for this episode. I like to read what other people say, because every now and again people have interesting theories and things to say. And this one was really interesting. I think could explain a bunch of things. Basically, the theory is that the cops are actually mental patients, crazy people. And that would explain why Dawn has this theory that they're going to be rescued, even though all signs are no, there's not going to be some outside force rescuing you. And even if there were, the environment, or I think it was Doug. I'm going to say Doug, just because I can't recall at the moment. But Dawn knew that Doug wasn't to blame for the patient dying, and yet she still had him beat up because of it. And it's an environment where that same patient, the doctor didn't kill, the doctor had Beth give the patient the wrong medication so that the patient would die. Why? Because the doctor knew that guy was also a doctor, and if there were two doctors, that the original doctor could get killed or left to the wayside because they already don't like him because he has a lot of bargaining power by being the only doctor. It's like, it's not a good environment to survive. It's not healthy by any stretch of the imagination mentally. So mental patients being in charge would make a lot of sense. It'd make a lot more sense than cops suddenly taking power and getting overrun by it, because that's cliche. It can be true. People can go crazy like that, but I'd really like another spin for this little plot. And finally, Carol arrives. Carol seems to arrive there. Maybe it's on purpose. Maybe she was planted there to get Beth out and save her. Who knows? Maybe she just suddenly was attacked. There are people having theories of the people that the hospital quote rescues are people they capture themselves and injure so that they have to be in the hospital. So Carol is in this environment, and I have to wait. I have to wait at least 2 weeks, because guess what? Next week is going to focus on another group of characters, and while I don't mind, like I want to see, it's like, you've left me on a fucking cliffhanger, bitches. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. And my final thoughts of The Walking Dead episode Slabtown. I think a lot of other people have said that this is a slow episode, that this wasn't very good. I admit it's odd, but I really liked it. I love Beth. I like Beth's character allowed to be a badass. And of course, I was just relieved to see where she was. I wasn't relieved for what it turned out to be, but I got relieved of like, oh, you're alive for a little bit longer. And I have been Jashykins, owner at jashykins.blogspot.com. And if you go to my blog, you can see vlog reviews like this. I recently had a review of the Maze Runner book released, and I'm going to be asking for a guest for the next Josh Talk soon, so you can be on the lookout for that or ask me. So yay! And if you go on the sidebar thing, you can see where else I am on the web and say hi. And if you go down below in the description, donate your account and you donate your Twitter and or Facebook accounts to my campaign, thank you very much. You've helped serve your Jashykins overlord nicely. And until next video, goodbye.